Good morning there. Can you say good morning?
Good morning.
I got a helper today. So last week his brother was sick and got to spend the day with me. Today he's sick, although you seem to feel pretty good, don't you? Yeah. He had a fever last night, so we decided to keep him home from school today. He gets to hang out with Dad. Working on a nurse tank this morning. I gotta put this back on here. I'm gonna need some more tools, it looks like. Basically, they need some water down at my house. I've already got that tank down there that the stone guys are using, but when they poured that patio last week, they used some powder, colorant powder, and they need to power wash it off, and they need pressurized water, and this is the only way I have to get it there. So we're gonna get this put back together so that it works, and put some water in it and take it down there. Brought the tank into the shop and we're filling it up, getting a little water. We don't need it full. I was thinking 300-400 gallons. We'll do a little more than this. We're gonna take this and set it back by the back patio at my house. And then Rylan and I are going to Berkey to get a grain cart, aren't we?
Yeah, long tractor ride.
Long tractor ride, that's right. Well,
And back, we're going to drive the tractor back, down the Berkey, and then drive it back.
the truck down and the tractor back. Yeah. I think we're gonna take a tank of fuel down too, so we're gonna get all that stuff ready. Yep, we need your car seat. We'll get it. Oh yeah, obviously here, we bought a combine home yesterday, so we finished shelling corn at our Berkey farms on Saturday night. Turns out that was a really good thing because we had a fair amount of snow yesterday. Now most of it has melted off, and I think we might be able to shell corn today. It might be a little greasy, but it's not like there's snow sticking to the corn, so we'll probably try it this afternoon. Brock's coming later this morning. We've got the corn head back, but we haven't got any of the trucks or the grain cart. So Rylan and I are going to go get the grain cart here in just a little bit. And then when we get back, Dad and Brock and I and Rylan are all going back, and we're going to get a couple of trucks brought back. Phil is already down there, but he's drying wet corn. We had quite a bit of wet corn down there that needs to be dried and grain system all buttoned up and stuff, so he's going to take care of that. And yeah, it should work out and be just fine. Okay, well, we got our tank placed and we are off. One other thing of note for today. Today is November 15th. It is the opening day of gun season for deer hunting in Michigan. And basically half, or probably more than half, of the schools in the state don't have school today because they're out hunting. And I'm sure they're not real happy that we don't have all the corn off, but it's what we're doing. We'll get to it as quickly as we can. Dryer's running. You ready to go, kid? Long tractor ride coming. He's got a truck empty, another one almost, but we just got to run a few batches through. The overhead was still full. Huh? We were hoping when Dad comes down here with us later he could stay and run the chisel, but fields look a little sloppy after the snow yesterday, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that today. Maybe tomorrow. There's rain coming on Wednesday. Dang it. We were hoping to get the tillage done down here before the next rain comes and not get stuck down here, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Rylan and I made it back. He immediately jumped out of the tractor and found Grandpa and got in that. Grandpa had combine fueled up and everything ready to go, so we're fueling up the grain cart. We're getting the head hooked up here. We got to put the snouts down and hook everything up here. And then we got to go get some trucks. I know you can't see him in the cab there, but Grandpa and Rylan are cleaning out my cabs. He is just loving it. And he is both of them. I got a little broom that I keep in the grain cart tractor, and Rylan had to sweep the floor out and get all the trash, and now they got to go do the combine, so Grandpa's helping them. And yeah, they both got pretty big smiles on their face at the moment. So Brock will be here in just a minute, and the plan is for all four of us to go back down to Berkey and grab the two of the trucks, two of the three. Phil's gonna have to haul a little bit of corn in, it looks like. He just called me and said that the dryer bin is almost full and he might be able to dry one more batch. But we had probably 3,000 bushels yet, so he's gonna have to make a couple trips, which is a good thing. That means we get more corn to sell. Came down, we loaded up all our stuff we needed out of the grain shed there. The computer, the moisture tester, my Dr. Pepper, water, all of the things that we need. Dad left with one truck, I'm leaving with the other. Brock's taking the truck and the child, Rylan, and we're heading back. So I know I'm filming a lot of we're gonna go do this, we're gonna do that, and not actually us doing anything. But we did get trucks moved back. Brock is going to get the grain cart greased. I'm gonna go scout out a field. I think we're gonna go, but Dad drove by it earlier and said there was a hunter parked in our driveway, which is a problem. So I'm gonna go see if it's open and grab some lunch while I do it. Dad and Rylan went to go in the house to eat. It's almost 2 o'clock already, so late lunch, but we've got a 30-acre field that's kind of a pain in the butt to get out, and it's a little farther away, and it'd be a good one to do today. So we're gonna go ahead and get that done, and I promise when I get back, we'll actually film some stuff of us like actually in a combine or a grain cart or doing something. I promise. Rylan's ready to go. They're heading to the field. We're gonna go shell corn. So Grandpa and Rylan are gonna run the combine. I think I'm gonna have Brock jump in the cart and take that, and I'm gonna do some trucking today. So a little different jobs than what I normally do, but that's okay. So we're trying to get this bean bin closed up. The one we're standing on, we've got soybeans in. We're not gonna put any more in there, which we didn't really know until we finished the beans before we went to Berkey, but we're done now. So we're taking the spout extension off so we can close the lid up, and we'll make sure our gate is closed, because this conveyor is what we used to fill up our big bin. There, it's your action shot, I promised. We're actually accomplishing something. So we've got a 30-acre piece here. It's really stupid, odd shaped. Oh yeah, this is the field I didn't have auto steer for this spring. I was having some air coat on the tractor, and the auto steer valve wasn't working. Oh yeah, we'll make Dad shell that one. Some crooked rows. We're just gonna park trucks on the road here. Brock can pull out of this driveway and load it, and then we'll have to back up and get back into the field there. There's also a couple of really small 1 acre, 1.5 acre chunks in this one as well that, well, it is what it is. So we'll get this stuff done here. There's some hunters down on the far end. I don't know if they'll be appreciative that we're getting the corn out or mad because we're scaring the deer away, but either way, this is what we're getting today. We've got angled rows here, so it comes out on a point. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in with him, ride for a little bit. We got only about half a truckload, and I got to wait until this truck is full before we can go back to the farm. So we'll see how Rylan's doing. Should have a truckload here. I'm gonna have Brock ride back with me and bring the other semi back, so that we can just swap them out, or I can just, yeah, he'll have one here to fill while I'm unloading this one. A little full. Looks like it's pretty dry corn, it's flowing. The wetter the corn is, the steeper it will stand up. The angle of repose is what it's called. But dry corn flows pretty well, and this stuff is not standing up very tall, which is why it's overflowing the truck over there, because it's dry. So we'll let them top this off and head out. Okay, we gotta fire up the grain system. So first thing is an oil check on the generator. Ugh. Good. Oil's good. Brock's taking our other truck back to the field. I'm gonna keep running the cart. That field is not real conducive to actually running the cart in it. It's more just carting it out to the road. So, manual. Start. A little chilly today. Whoa. This, we want wet bin, dryer. Check stuff in here and let the dryer or the generator warm up for a second. So our generator's warmed up. We're gonna open up our covers here so we can see our amp meters. We start the wet leg, which is that one, and we've already put it to the wet bin, and so it's gonna fill the top of the dryer, and then it's gonna fill up the pipe, and it will overflow into our wet bin, start our pit. And then we open the door. I need this thing. This is easier with two hands. There we go. Okay. So, the grain goes down through the pit into an auger. The auger takes it over to the bottom of the grain leg. It gets pushed into the boot, we call it, the bottom section of the grain leg, where a bucket on a belt scoops it up, takes it all the way up to the top. It goes over the top of the head pulley, where it gets thrown into the distributor. The distributor right there is then what selects which pipe the grain goes down. Right now we have it defaulted to, or we have it selected to go to the dryer and wet bin, that pipe. So it's going down there. It is filling up our dryer. Once the dryer is full, that pipe backs up and it overflows into that pipe into the wet bin. We will start the dryer up, but after we get our second truck, because I don't want it to shut off because it runs out of corn, because we can't get another load back here quick enough. So we grab our bucket that's full of beans. We'll dump them in the bean bucket. We fill this up with a sample. Take it back into our test shack here. And we get our moisture tester ready. We dump some corn in the top. Try not to spill it all over. Like that. We hit corn. We should put in a number here. We're just going to put in number 1 because it doesn't matter. Empty the bottom. It's empty. Continue. And it tests it. There we go. 18.5, 54.9. Good enough. So then we come over here to our computer. We've got the field, the variety, the load. It is a CO Colorado truck. Columbia, that's what it is, not Colorado. 18.5, and the test weight was 54.9. So we'll do that again for the back hopper, and then we're done. Don't forget to dump out your drawer. Once you start seeing that little tail on it, that means it's almost empty. So we open the door up, let the rest of the corn out. Close it. Put some air back in our suspension. Close the door. Once the pit's cleaned out, we turn it off. The leg runs constantly after the generator's on. We're going to leave the generator on, so that's going to stay running. Back to the field we go. Guessing we got a full truck. Okay, we're getting the second truck started dumping. I'm going to get a sample here. As soon as I'm done with that, we're going to fire up the dryer. So everything in here is ready to go. We'll come back to this later. This is our grain dryer master controller for the grain handler. We've got our master switch on. So we come out here to our dryer panel, grain handler. Open this up and get ourselves some power. And then we should, we better check our dry leg. 42-foot Suke Up. Nope, we don't want that one. We want 42-foot Butler, 54-foot Suke Up. And we need to come over here and turn on the top conveyor. That's the cross auger conveyor up there that we were looking at earlier. So that's on. And then we turn on our dry leg, which is that one. So that's running. And then we hit this to run. Turn on the hot fans. And they start turning on. 2, 2, and then the last 2. There they go. Those are all running, so we hit our fuel control. And it has to go through a purge cycle and start up the fire. We'll go watch it, see if it actually ignites. You can't see in there at all. Oh, not yet. You will, don't worry. The This is a window into the dryer. Through the side door, the air is blowing up through there right now, and we're waiting for flame, which we should be able to see once it ignites. There it comes, I think. There it is. So now the dryer is going to run on basically a high flame or wide open, and it's still ramping up until it gets the air temperature up to 200 degrees inside there. Yeah, there you go. Now you got some fire. So it'll get it up to 200 degrees in there. The air is blowing up through that center and then coming out here through these side grates, and the corn will kind of flow down through it. Most of the corn that's in the dryer is already halfway through the drying process. It's been in there since we dried corn a couple of weeks ago. It's been a while. So now that the fire is on, our burner control shows 5 volts. That means that it's on. Here's our temperatures. We're up to 130 and climbing. We have to push this button right here. That's our unload. Something's not right. I kicked out. Our flame shut off. I think I waited too long. You got 2 minutes from the time you turn the fuel control on, or from the time it starts until you push that button. I didn't think it had been 2 minutes yet, but it might have been. So I turned the fuel control off. It's going through the ignition cycle again. Gonna refire. Okay, we got fire again. Push to unload. Now it's unloading. So you can see the drives are turning. There's VFDs on them so that they work. We're gonna check our chain over here, make sure none of the gears are jumping and that everything's turning. Those two are turning. Those two are turning. Those are the metering rolls that are dropping the corn down into the drags. Everything looks good from here. Dryer is good. Okay, you can see our grain temp, or our air temp, is up in the 190s. It should climb up to 200. We might have to open the gas valve a little bit. Still bouncing around 195. I saw it up to 196. We're gonna have to open our gas valve just a little. Oh, there's 197. That's not too bad. 198, 199. Is it gonna make 200? Oh, okay. So the last time we were running this dryer, it was a lot warmer, and there's a valve that we can open and close to control the gas pressure a little bit. That yellow handle right there. And sometimes you got to bump it a little bit so that it can self-control itself a little better. So now we come inside. You can see our inlet's about 19%. Outlet, it says it's 15.7. We're shooting for 14.5. Actually, we should probably set that up a little bit. We'll do that in a minute. But it's not ready to go into auto mode yet. It's got to learn a little bit and remember kind of where it's at and stuff. So we're going to let it run at the rate that it's at right now. We're discharging about 800 bushels per hour. Once this goes into this ready light comes on, we can kick it into auto mode and it just controls itself from there. It'll speed up and slow down the discharge rate in order to keep the outlet exactly what we want. Uh-oh. I bet somebody's not too happy. Mama's coming to pick him up. Oh no, what is wrong?
He wants to ride with me.
I know. Grayson, do you remember last week when you got to spend all day and riding with me? Yeah. I know, I'm sorry, bud. It's always a rough one when you got to try and split them up, but they're too much to handle. Have both of them, and Grayson had school today anyway, so he wasn't sick. He could go to school. Oh, well, it was fun having him. Rylan enjoyed his day with Dad and mostly Grandpa. He was, let's be honest, mostly spent the day with Grandpa. We're back with the next load, and look, our ready light is on. So we hit mode, request automatic, number 2, moisture, we're gonna type in 15.0, enter. And now it's in automatic mode, and it will control the rate all by itself. We put her in auto mode, and it's going. It has gotten dark on us. Brock had to go at like 6 or 6:30 here, and it's about that time now. So since Phil's here, he's going to run trucks, and Brock can go back with him, and I will take over grain cart duties. Okay, let's do this. So we don't have very much left here. I just heard Dad say on the radio he thought there was only about 3 rounds left. So not very much in this field. There is those two little tiny 1 acre, 1.5 acre pieces over there we'll have to get yet. But he can pretty well combine the whole thing, and then we just pull the cart in and he unloads it. So, it'll be fine here. Yeah, this is an odd-shaped field. There is not a straight side on it. It made matters worse that my auto steer wasn't working when we planted it, so everything is crooked. There are no straight rows. The auto steer doesn't really work in this field because you can't. Yeah, it is what it is. It'll be fine. In fact, you can see, look at how crooked that row is. What a terrible job I did. I know that the rows are all crooked out here and it's very difficult to figure out where you're going, but this is at least the third pass that I've seen Dad take with a partial header width. He's struggling to find the rows apparently. I would have started along the trees and just found it, I know that one's right, but whatever, we're fine. It's all good. We're almost done. He did turn 2 rounds into at least 3, if not 4 though. Windows and dirt and lights, and it just doesn't work very good for you guys. I'm sorry. We're doing one of those little 1.5 acre fields here. Dad's just now finishing up the end rows, and I think he has 1 round left to do there. Not very much. All right, last little bit here. Phil called me a while ago and said when he got back from him and I came down here together, that the wet leg unload that was used to load the dryer had burnt the belts off. We had plugged something up and it couldn't get rid of the corn or something. I don't know. He's got the belts replaced and restarted everything. He thought maybe the wet leg got shut off somehow or something. I don't know. Sounds like we made a mistake somewhere. But everything is fired back up and running and should be good to go. So something tells me we aren't going anywhere else tonight. It is 7:30. And I just have a feeling that we're going to call this good because we don't generally move once it gets dark. It's just the way it is. We're done here. Dad decided he's going to let me drive the combine home tonight in the dark. So I'm going to leave this here and we're going to take the combine home. He's taking that truck. Phil just took the other truck. And yeah, we'll see what's going on when we get back there. All right, well, I got the combine taken home and the dryer was back up and running. Everything is going good there. In fact, there were no lights on my wet bin, which means there's very little wet corn in there. So it's cranking out some bushels. Phil actually turned the temp down because he thought it was going too fast. It's fine. As long as it's putting out over 2,000 an hour, we're good. We don't need to worry about it. So if we get some wetter corn and it slows down, we'll crank the temp back up to 200. He turned it down to 180. So I just dropped Dad off at the field. He's taking the grain cart and the tractor back to the farm for me. We're going to try and have a really big day tomorrow. The field we're going to move into, there's 2 fields there and there's 95 acres between them. As long as we can get the trucks out of the field, which is a little iffy at this point, we should have a big day. Brock will be here. I will be here. Phil will be here. Dad is heading to Berkey to do tillage to try and get that chisel and the ripper running. We got a lot to do down there, and there's rain coming later in the week. We would like to get it done before that if possible. So I'll be in the combine tomorrow. Brock can run cart. Phil can run trucks. We're only 1.5 miles from the farm. We should have a big day and get a lot done. And let's have some fun with it. So thanks for watching today. Hit that like and subscribe button for me, please. That's the best thing you can do to help me out. And we'll see you guys again in the morning.